everything we need. Goofy, do you have the checklist?
Checklist? It's around here somewhere. Whoa, whoa.
Gosh, there you are.
Look, everyone, it's Mickey.
Aw, gee. Hiya, folks. On the count of 3, everybody say, let the adventure begin. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let the adventure begin. Welcome to Disney's Animal Kingdom, everybody. Have a wild adventure.
Welcome to our world, the circle of life, the world comes to life. The circle, welcome to our world, the circle of life, the
Bamba yetu yulie mbinguni, jina lako litukuzwe, ufalme wako uje na utukufu hata milele. Amina. Kwa kuwa ufalme lako na nguvu na utukufu hata milele. Amina. Kwa mfele yako na nguvu na tukufu hata milele. Kwa kuwa ufalme wako na nguvu na utukufu hata milele. Amina. Kwa kuwa ufalme wako na nguvu na utukufu hata milele. Amina. Kwa kuwa ufalme wako na nguvu na utukufu
Mutua, and I am happy to welcome you to Harambe Wildlife Reserve. I hope that your visit will give you new appreciation and respect for Africa's magnificent living treasures. Harambe Wildlife Reserve was created to meet the growing challenges that face our native wildlife here in Africa. Expanding human population is bringing with it a loss of natural habitat, threatening the very existence of our great creatures. Sadly, even the borders of Harambe cannot protect our animals from the most dangerous threat of all, poaching. To the poachers, these beautiful animals represent only profit. Rhino and elephant are slaughtered for their horns and ivory. Cheetahs and lions are killed for their coats. And antelope and gazelle are trapped in snares, their meat illegally sold. It is my job to protect all the animals of this reserve. That is why I ask you, all of you, to please join us in our battle against poaching. Kwa macho, kwa wajangili, grow eyes for poachers. Only by working together can we maintain Harambe as a safe haven for all its animals. I was born here, and my whole life I was taught that what you see with your eyes, you value with your heart. It is my hope that what you see today, you will treasure in your heart forever. Karibuni Harambe, Reserve ya wanyama wa porini. Welcome to Harambe Wildlife Reserve.
Small, chitlin to the center of the rope. Look below you, know some cargo in it. Set up your store and loose items you have out there. I recommend using those nets because if you don't, if something falls off the truck, I'm not allowed to stop and pick it up, no matter how valuable it is or how long you've been married. Well, Jumbo, everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Andy. I'm going to be your game driver out here for the next 2 weeks on our photo safari tour through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. I do ask that you remain seated at all times, and please do not lean out of the vehicle for any reason, as some of these bushes have pretty long thorns. If you look above, you notice a game spot guide that'll help you identify the animals we see out here. We don't always see all of them, but we usually do pretty well. Now, the reserve out here was established in 1971 to help protect the local wildlife. And over the years, animals have become accustomed to human presence, which is good for us, but not so good for them, since poachers will sneak in and try to take advantage of that. But Hakuna Matata, folks, no worries. We have our airborne wardens up there. We call them our eyes in the sky. With about 800 square miles of bush country to cover, that's the easiest way to do it. I'm actually going to try to check in with one of these wardens here in just a moment once we get clearance to enter the reserve. Shouldn't be too much longer here. Another note about taking pictures, please try to take them as quickly as possible since I'm not allowed to fully stop for the animals. Although I do try to go a little bit slower for you, but even then, if you're not quick enough, a great picture of a giraffe can easily turn into a great picture of a shrubbery. And while our shrubbery are very nice out here, it still does not compare to a baby giraffe. I advise a back row to hold on though. It does get a little bouncy out there. It's not unusual for a driver to lose their whole back row every once in a while. But as they do say in Swahili, Twinde, let's go. Simba 1 to Airborne Patrol, come on in, over.
Simba 1, this is Warden Wilson Mutua, over.
Jumbo Wilson, we are entering the reserve at the Little Aturi Forest, over.
I'm Jumbo, Simba 1. Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Roger that, Wilson. I already see some okapi there to the right. Those half a zebra looking things. There's one of them behind a bush. You're about to get to a different angle on it. There's also some more way back in there. Now, okapi may look like they're related to the zebra, but they are not. They're more closely related to the giraffe. Go figure. Back there to the left lane down in the bushes is your orange fella. That's a bongo. Very shy and reclusive. They're known as the ghost of the forest. Very seldom seen the bongos. In fact, they're being very ghosty right now. And coming up on the left around this watering hole, you may have a chance to see some of the more rare species, such as black rhino. They have been hit really hard by poaching, though. There's only about 3,000 of them left in the world, so hopefully we can see some out here. Oh, there's one. Their skin can get up to 1 inch thick, making them impervious to most all predators, except for, of course, mankind. They can also charge at a speed of up to 35 miles per hour, which really wouldn't be so good for us, as this truck only goes about 8. Hundreds of thousands have been killed for those horns, and oddly enough, they're made out of the same material as our hair and fingernails, keratin. And even in a reserve like ours, they're still not completely safe from the threats of poaching. Usually weighing about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. You see that very long upper lip that they have, that's a main distinction from them from other rhino species. Off to the left, you'll see some greater kudu, the second largest antelope in Africa. The males, who carry horns, can get up to about 750 pounds. And we are now on our way to the Safi River, where you can almost always see Nile hippos. Nile hippos have birth weight around 85 pounds, but a fully grown adult male can tip the scales at over 5,000. And only for the first few months of their life are they going to try swimming. After that, they just get too big. And what they'll do instead is they'll just kind of sink down to the river bottom and walk along it. It's a lot easier for them. They generally hold their breath 5 to 8 minutes, although they can hold it longer. And they eat about 150 pounds of grass every night when they come out on the riverbanks to feed. Now the large white birds are pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans are very clever birds. They work together in groups to herd fish in the shallow waters where they feed. They live in colonies, nest in trees, and have a pretty crazy hairdo. Some more hippos there. Have a little hippo nap. Across this really old bridge with termite damage, please remain fully seated. There's very real Nile crocodiles down there with enough power in those super strong jaws to crush and shatter the bones of their prey in a single bite. They get up to a length of 20 feet or more to be able to see them sitting around with their mouth open. That's how they regulate their body temperature since they're cold-blooded. Also hold their breath about an hour.
Come in.
This is Simba 1, go ahead.
Just wanted to let Giraffes. You definitely want to check out that area.
Roger that, Wilson. Certainly will in a few, but right now we're entering a different ecosystem with different animals. And speaking of different, I want to show you that baobab tree off to the right. That particular tree is thought to be around 1,000 years old, and it's also known as the upside down tree because, well, looks like it's upside down. They only get leaves about 3 months out of the year. We are now entering the Savanna, part of the Serengeti grassland system. The Serengeti stretches hundreds of miles across East Africa, and it's like a superhighway for millions of migrating animals like zebra and wildebeest, and it's also a home for some of the more famous species we have, like elephants, lions, giraffe. They live here all year round. This is all part of the wild Africa we're trying so hard to conserve. Off to the right, you'll see some sable antelope. Those horns can get up to 60 inches in length, and they're on the official emblem of Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're out there with their semi-cute babies there. I should be able to get another good look at them too when we come around there. Off to the left, you'll see some Patterson's eland, the largest antelope in Africa. They can get up to 2,000 pounds and stand 6 feet tall at the shoulder alone. Also off there to the right, those little tiny tan fellas with the black stripes on their sides are Thompson's gazelle. We like to call them Tommies around here. And that's about as big as they get right there. They are fully grown, around 60 pounds. They're extremely fast and agile, and cheetah's favorite meal. Close-up view of these sables as well. Now this gray fella straight ahead of us on the left is a white-bearded wildebeest. Herds up to 1.5 million migrate through here every year, making that the largest land migration in Africa. And the big red fellas with the long horns are Ankali cattle. Those horns can get up to 6 feet long and 20 inches in diameter at the base. Blood actually flows through those hollow horns, allowing excess body heat to escape, keeping them relatively cool during the heat of the day. Well, some more wildebeest in this bush here on the left. Here on the right, these small brown fellas are impala. They can leap about 30 feet in a single jump to escape predators. It's almost the length of this truck, and only the males have horns. There should be quite a few of them here just past these bushes. You'll be able to get a pretty good view.
Simba One, this is Wilson. What is your location? Over.
We're near Monkey Point, entering elephant country.
Keep your eyes open for me. We picked up a baby elephant that was wandering off on its own. We can't find the mother. I'm afraid poachers may be in the reserve.
Roger that, Wilson. We'll definitely keep a lookout. And we do call this area Monkey Point because off to the left lives a colony of mandrills, Africa's largest monkey. Males can get up to over 100 pounds, and a fully mature male mandrill is the most colorful monkey in the world. You cannot mistake the males for the females. Males are way bigger, and both fins are just as colorful. Back there to the right, you see a huge male elephant. Definitely about as big as that elephant gets. He's almost 12,000 pounds. Males are usually kicked out of the herd around the age of 14 and they go off on their own or in very loose all-male groups where they fight for dominance, territory, and the right to mate. Pretty much the life of a male elephant. Go ahead and flip on some music here for you. Well, looks like we have a pretty old bridge to cross here. We're just kind of hang on. It's about as old as the last one. If you look off to the right, you might be able to see another elephant out there. Maybe the same one. Whoa, everyone, hang on, lean to the right, lean to the right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold it, hold it. Hold it there almost. We got it. Woo, that was a close one. Need to tell Wilson to put some more duct tape on the other side of that bridge. Alright, but here we are in the red clay pits. If you see all the tusk marks and footprints to either side, that's because elephants will come up in here and eat this red clay. It gives them some more minerals and what they can get from the 300 pounds of green stuff that they eat per day. They have a lifespan of 60 to 70 years, and female elephants have a pregnancy period of about 22 months. And during her lifetime, she may be able to have around 15 babies. When a baby elephant is born, they already weigh 200 to 300 pounds. Cute little baby out there behind that baobab tree. Looks like Nadira, she's only 2. Oh, there's a reticulated giraffe there to the right. They get their name from the Latin word reticulata, meaning net, referring to the net-like pattern of spots on their coat. Fully grown, they can stand 18 to 20 feet tall, weigh up to 2,500 pounds. We should see some around this little area here. They're on the other side there. Well, looks like I see Kianka in front of us there, another very young elephant. She's about 3. Oh, looks like a flock of greater flamingo have come on over here as well. Greater flamingo are the lightest pink of all flamingo species. They get their color because they eat a lot of brine shrimp and other crustaceans in their diets. And all of that carotene or vitamin A turns them pink. The gray ones are still babies. It takes them a year and a half to turn their fully mature pink coloring. There's that giraffe again to the right and another one here up very close to us on the left. When a baby giraffe is born, they already stand 6 to 7 feet tall. Here's that baby here up here on the right. That's Rory. She's about 6 months old. Real close view here on the left. Wow, look at that, a family of white rhino. They get their name from the mispronounced Afrikaans word vite, meaning wide, referring to their really wide, broad mouths, not to the color of their skin, as all rhino species are the same basic gray color. Just depends on what they roll around in that day. They're one of Africa's greatest success stories because thanks to anti-poaching and conservation efforts of this reserve and others like it, making a really good comeback from the brink of extinction. Some ostrich eggs down there to the right. About 3 pounds an egg, makes them the largest egg laid in the world.
Whose eggs are those?
White rhino usually weigh in about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds, about twice the size of a black rhino. Regardless of size, they still charge at a speed of 35 miles per hour. Cute little
Zimbabwe,
baby.
I see you at the junction. I suggest you go west. It will be worth it.
Roger that, Wilson. Wonder what he sees out there. Go to the left, you see some cheetah laying in there between the trees and the shade. They're the fastest mammals in the world, getting up to a speed of about 70 miles per hour in a single sprint, which they can only maintain for a short distance, roughly 400 to 600 yards, before they get way too overheated. And they are daytime hunters, unlike most big cats, so I'm sure they've been tempted from time to time by these drive-by buffets that go around all day. Wow, look at that, a huge female lion laying real close to us on this rock. She's up there doing what a lion does best, which is pretty much nothing. Lions are inactive 18 to 20 hours during the day, and contrary to popular belief, it is the female that does most of the hunting. They're one of the largest carnivores in Africa, with vision 6 times better than ours, and they are one of the few big cats that work together in groups to hunt, known as prides. There she is, queen of the Savanna, having a little cat nap. Well, you can sort of see the top of a huge male lion up here. You can just see the top of his head. He chose to get up and roar and be heard up to 5 miles away. There he is back there. Real tough to see him, though. The white fellas with the long horns are scimitar horned oryx. Those horns can get up to 42 inches long. You're going to see some more ostrich eggs on the right with some grand zebra and some ostrich, the largest birds in the world, and although they are flightless, they still have wings. Some more ostrich here on the left.
Zimbabwe, there are poachers in the area. Can you help us cut them off?
Roger that, Wilson. We're on our way. Uh-oh, this must be where they broke in at. Everyone hang on while we exit the reserve. It's going to get pretty bumpy in here.
The poachers are heading east. Keep going and then drive them to my patrol. Over.
Roger that, Wilson. Sounds like a pretty good plan. Wilson, we just cut off the poachers from their camp. I don't know where they're headed now. Over.
Oh, not to worry. You drop them right into my patrol.
All right, let's get on down here and see what's going on.
The poachers' friends will never get far. We located the mother elephant. Thanks to you, they are now both safe. Asante sana, everyone.
Roger that, Wilson. Glad to be of help.
I have to go now. We have to get this baby elephant back to its mother.
Couldn't resist, but we're pretty far from our scheduled course, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop you off up here at one of the warden's posts. From there, you'll only be a short walk back to the village of Harambe and also over to Pangani Forest. I recommend you going over there to the forest because there you'll be able to see western lowland gorillas, meerkats, black and white colobus monkeys, and some underwater hippo viewing. It's all pretty cool out there. But thank you guys for choosing Kilimanjaro Safaris. I know you have a lot of the other companies to choose from out there in Harambe, but I'm glad you chose us for all of your safari needs. Feel free to come back anytime. No two safaris are ever quite the same. The animals make sure of that. I also recommend going out there to Rafiki's Planet Watch. It's about a 5-minute train ride out there. And there are a lot of different types of reptile and insect species displays out there that we can't really show you too well from a truck. And a lot of good conservation messages out there. They also have a little petting zoo area. You can pet some animals and a vet clinic or watch and perform procedures on the animals live. Saw a gorilla get a root canal once. It was pretty cool. Plus it's air conditioned, so if it happens to get real hot today, it'll be a great place to go. But out here in Africa, we don't like to say goodbye to our dear friends. We like to use a Swahili term that means go well, and that term is kwaherini. So kwaherini, everyone. Go ahead and double check those net bags. Make sure you have everything.
And hold, symbol 1. Shambo, everyone. Welcome to the Warden's Post. Watch your hands and feet on the right. Watch your step as you exit the vehicle. Thank you.
Having a Kuta Matata day out there, no worries. And remember, while out here in Africa, it is okay to go a little bit wild out there. And on the Asia, they're going to calm down a little bit. Sonic, you got very well.
That sounds like our head warden. I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Symbol 1 to Wilson Matura. Are you making rounds in the airplane today? Over.
Yes, Simba 1. And today I have a passenger. Miss Jobson, my favorite wildlife researcher.
Hum Jumbo, everyone.
Jumbo, we're in the Sapi River now, heading north towards the Savanna. If you have any wildlife spotting tips, we'd love to hear them. Over.
Roger, Simba 1. Will do. Over. Simba 1, when you come to Sedikali Bridge, go pole, very slowly. That old bridge has seen better days, and I think our shifty-eyed friends, the crocodiles, know it. Simba 1, I see you down there. You are in bush country. Drive carefully. I don't want you bumping into my animals.
You should begin to see a wide variety of grass-eating animals around you, such as Thompson's gazelle.
Miss Jobson, no one in Africa calls them Thompson's gazelle. They are termies. Termies. Over.
Pardon me for a brief moment. Symbol 1 to Wilson Matura. Do you know the whereabouts of Big Red and Little Red? Over.
I have not seen them today. Try the red clay pit.
Big Red is the elephant matriarch of the reserve's herd. She gave birth a while ago to a new calf.
He does bathe in the same red clay pit as his mama. So I named him.
Elephants are wonderfully social creatures. They have moods, sympathies, and emotions. Over.
Roger that, Miss Thompson. We just spotted an elephant, but it wasn't Big Red or Little Red. I think we're going to head on east towards the watering hole. Never mind, there they are. off to your left.
I copy you, Simba 1. Over.
Roger that. I don't see Little Red anywhere, but we got a whole bunch more up ahead here. I'll see if we can't get a closer look at them. Some more off in your distance there to your left, over that ridge.
Simba 1, I have to report back to base. Over.
Sawa, Wilson, I'll catch up with you later.
Simba 1, come in, please.
Hang on, Wilson. All right, go ahead.
I got a report about a suspicious jeep near Wingo copies. Keep a lookout for it.
Roger that, Wilson. We're headed towards the copies now. Over. Pardon me for a moment, folks. Simba 1 to Wilson Matura. We are at the copies now. Nothing suspicious here. Over.
Okay, Simba 1, but keep your eyes open for anything unusual. Over.
Calling Warden Mutua. Over.
Mutua here.
There are ivory poachers in the reserve. They shot Big Red. She is wounded.
What about Little Red?
No word yet.
Where was he last seen?
Magadi Gorge.
Okay, you head there.
Roger.
Simba 1, we must stop the poachers. I am landing at Magadi Gorge to block off the east end. If you come in from the west, we could trap them.
Please, Simba 1, we need your help.
All right, folks, sounds like we're having trouble with poachers here. You want to see if we can't catch them? Simba 1 to Wilson Matura, we are at the crossroads now. Looks like our gates have been smashed open. Over.
Keep going, Simba 1. We are landing now.
Roger that. All right, folks, we're outside the reserve now, so hold on tight to your children and keep an eye out for those poachers.
Simba 1, we spotted the poachers. Head east. Force them towards us.
Roger that. All right, folks, we're going off-road here for a little bit. This is going to get bumpy. May even get a little wet, too. Whoa, whoa. What was that? All right, folks, I can only guess that was the poachers. Hold on tight. I'm going to get us out of this geyser bed. Let me know if you see those poachers anywhere. Well, here's the poachers' camp. Looks like they left in a hurry. Looks like they've been really busy, too. Let's see if we can't catch up to them. Where's Wilson's plane? That must be the poacher's jeep.
We caught them, Simba 1. You forced them into our trap.
The wardens have Big Red. She'll be fine.
How's Little Red doing there, Warden? He's right there in the back of the truck. Good job.
See you, Simba 1. I have to deliver the baby elephant back to his mama. Asante sana.
Goodbye, Simba 1, and thank you.
Glad we could help, Miss Johnson. You and Wilson take care now. Simba 1, over and out.
Everything you see into the water, and it will bring to the truth. I know, in your reflection, yeah, he lives in you. Yeah, he lives in you. And I know he lives in me. Yeah.
Thank you.